show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello, Slotheads, and welcome to the Slothead Crew live on this Friday. Thank you for joining in, and I hope both me and Nico will earn your subscriptions if we have not done that yet. What's happening in today's episode? Well, I will go through my streaming setup, what I'm using normally if I'm either doing the live stream or recording videos. And might be useful for some and less useful for some other. But I'll try to keep it brief and not too nerdy. If you have specific questions, just go ahead and ask in the chat and we will answer them. And I will also go through a little bit about the SlotSync on how I use the analog mode, because I know there's been a lot of some people have been having problems with the analog mode of SlotSync together with SmartRace. So I'll go through my tips and tricks on that one. And hopefully there'll be something fun in the chat as well. And talking about the chat, we have Bo is here, of course. And hey, what's a Slothead Crew live without our Aussie friends? Slightly Mad, we got Neil as well. Welcome. Look at all these. I think we have more Australians than anything else. That's good, in a good way. And we have MTB here as well. And yes, hello. I finally got your address from Nico, so now I can send you the stickers. So they are on their way. Or not yet, but they will be tomorrow. I'll put them in the post box. Wins, here we go. Good to see you, my racing buddy in SlotSync Racing. Vince and I, we keep on having a lot of battles in all different kind of groups and classes. And right now, I think, if I'm not completely mistaken, I think Vince is the head honcho here. Leaderboard, yep, Vince has the club record. He took it from me. And again, congratulations to that. It's an awesome achievement. To beat me, I mean, no. But it was the NSR Corvette that beat my NSR GT40. And the NSR Corvette C8 should be faster than my GT40, because that is a faster car. What's happening with my cap? I get to keep it as well and not canceled like the Middle East races after right now. And then we go. Bo is always courteous as well. Hello. And we got who, if nothing less than Bradley, B-Rad, as I keep calling him from his former username. Good to see you, buddy. And is there anyone else? Hey. Go nerd or go home. I totally agree. We totally. That's a good one. That's a new motto. Go nerd or go home. Welcome, Joe. What else? Is there anyone else here? I don't want to miss anybody. It feels so rude. All right. So let's talk about Nico, since he's not here. He is, as always, busy. It's just the way it is, but we will manage. We will get us through today's little live as well, as long as the chat helps me out. Well, I always have the support of the chat. Are there any other news? No new cars from my side. I've been fiddling around with a few of them, greasing them up, doing some basic maintenance and tire maintenance, etc. And I must say, this little can I got from from Nico, I think it smells very similar to, there's like a blue Nivea can like this. It smells exactly the same, so I'm sure it's the same thing, but wow, the grip you get with those, it's absolutely amazing, even on like standard box stock tires. So really cool. Hey, look at that, ECE, Slot Cars is here as well. So we got some bad news from Bo. Chuck Norris died. I didn't think that was possible. I mean, the man that can, there's so many Chuck Norris jokes around, like how many push-ups can he do? All of them, and so forth. So, or Chuck Norris doesn't do push-ups. He basically pushes the earth away from him instead of pushing himself up. So, well, anyway, that's sad news. A legend. That's for babies and young girls. And slot car tires, I tell you, it's unbelievable. It's really, really good. It has cut down my times on all cars. So I like it a lot. On a Carrera track. It might be totally different if you run other tracks. So let's talk about streaming. There are many different ways of doing a stream. It could be as basic as just using the laptop's built-in camera. I don't have that added in. Maybe I could. Well, let's add that one. There we go. So here we see the difference. The picture that you see on your right, this one is the camera built into my laptop, and this one here is a Sony camera. So you can see the difference in my skin tones, and it's just a better performing camera. You will get a different level of image by using a proper camera, but you don't have to. This, if I do this, this would work as well. I mean, the key thing is that you're live and you're talking about it, so about whatever you want to talk about, so and sharing and being part of the community. So that one is the PC camera, and we can do this. And this one is the proper camera. So now I have some issues with the zoom or the focus on that specific camera, because it's worn out basically. I wear out cameras like crazy. But that is a Sony A7R Mark something, 2, 3, 4, 5. But it's a Sony camera. Really good, easy camera to use, decent footprint and so forth. I could as well, I guess, I could use, I'll remove this PC and this one. And then we could do something like this. And I have my little mobile camera. See if the cable is stuck in something. So this one is a smaller camera that I use a lot. It's Insta360, and it's called Go 3S. I think they have a Go 4 nowadays. I do not use it for my face. It's just natural beauty since I'm so young. Oh, Chris is here as well. Welcome. Well, yeah, definitely. He's a slot caraholic. And aren't we all, I would say. I can move this one. So now I have this little camera here. I can point it at. This is the Sony camera. And that one up here is a Canon R5. And I use that for close-ups. So I can easily switch the camera if I want to show some details. then this one is a lot better. And I can then quickly switch between me and details. And if we then look at, so how do I do switching? Well, you can either in the software, you can switch cameras. I don't know if you see them down here. So I have 3 cameras here. This middle one is this camera, and the right one is the PC camera, and the left one here is basically what I'm coming in through the switcher. And if we do this, you see over here, there's my little switching thingy, and it's an ATEM Mini Pro, and I have buttons that I can easily switch between different views. I can go from, I have an input, the PC is one camera, so I can choose the PC and switch quickly by just hitting cut. There's a whole lot of other features in here that you can, if you want to use them or not. I use it pretty basic. I used to do this when I use more of a professional broadcast, if I'm helping a company to, for example, broadcast their annual report and so forth, then I use more features here. But there's also a smaller version of this one and a bigger version of this. So the main difference is how many cameras you can add. So in this case I have 4, and I can easily see how many cameras or which cameras are on. So right now number 4 is on, and it's easy to switch out. So, and then I have a small Ninja monitor here connected to this one as well, so I can see, here I see what I'm broadcasting, and here I see what the camera that's kind of is prepared already, what it's showing. So I can see that on this one. Of course I've missed something. Oh, Greg is here. Welcome. Nobody else I missed? Hello. So those are, that's the switchers, and I just pop all the cables in here, and then there's a whole bunch of cables underneath, and then I can add up to 4 cameras on this one. But I can also run this, all of this is coming into one input, which is here. So here I can switch between, you see that image over there changes if I hit the cut button, boop, boop. So it's very, very simple. And this software is called EVMUX, EVMUX. And you can either use that one, or there's another one called StreamYard, and which is, I think they're probably pretty similar. There might be some minor differences in pricing, or like in this case we are several users on this one. It's Pete, Joe, and me, and I can't remember who the 4th one is, but I think there are 4 of us using this same, and we can collaborate, and we can it's easy. So that's an easy way to do that. And then on top of that I have additional cameras. Let's see if I can do this. Have a little bit of me and a little bit of car sickness over here. Oh, so fast, join us as well. Thank you. Hello. We wave. Good to have you here as well. So we had those 2 cameras, Sony, Canon R5. These are both SLR cameras or system cameras where we have interchangeable lenses. So I can change the lenses on these cameras to whatever lens I want. If I want, close-ups, macros, etc., or some funky VR lenses, or super macro things, so it's really good. And the lens per se is your cropping tool. That's all it does. It crops the image. So if you do a portrait at a certain distance or you want to shoot something, you change the lenses to change your cropping of your image. Nothing else. Some people say, oh, but wide angle, it distorts the image. No, that's the distance. So if you shoot with a 24 millimeter or even 13 millimeter, and you can replicate the same thing by using a 200 millimeter and then use different distances, there's absolutely no change. The only thing that changes is the distance. I'm going to remove this one from the scene, and that's basically, if I would move close to this one, yeah, then things my nose would get bigger and get all distorted. But and the same thing would happen if you would be as close with a 200 millimeter. So lens is only the cropping tool. And then you have, of course, zoom lenses, which are, then you can move between, like these, both of these have 24-70 millimeters, so I can go from wide angle to a more focused 70 millimeter portraits version. Let's do this. What else do I use? Well, I also use a little something like this, regular GoPro. Also these are available in all kinds of versions. This is a 9. I think they have 11 or 12 or something. They get higher resolutions, better sensors, better, less graining in dark situations. So GoPro is a very simple one, and then I know there's DJIs, and then you have the Insta360 that I'm shooting with right now. But then I also have another fun one, which is this guy over here. Let's put this one in here without some flare. This one is a 360 camera, Insta360, called 1X2. I think they have X4, so they have, you know, again, better sensors, higher resolution with each generation. But this one is fun because what it does, it shoots a sphere. So basically, the picture, it's instead of having a flat rectangular image, this one has a ball around it. So it shoots all the way down. It would capture my hand if I have it right underneath, and it would capture my hand if I have it straight above. And how it does it, it has one lens here in one side, and then it's another one on two, and then they put those two together. So you have 180-degree ball here, or half a sphere, and then you have another half on this side, and then it puts it together, and you can move around within that sphere. It's really, really neat. And what you can use it for is just put it on one of these stands, and then you can raise it up, and you put it in the middle of the table, and then you can basically cover the whole thing like a helicopter view, so you could see it from above, which is really neat. That is really cool. We like that. We like cool things. Why did I leave this hatch open? I don't know. I'll put that away. So 360 cameras are fun and cool. And there's my new beast, the Leica SL3. I'm still trying to figure that one out and learn. Okay, new people. Yeah, GoPro 13. Okay, let's see. Oh, there's coming on some questions here. Bo first. Let's start with Bo. Are you satisfied with Leica? Should be a hammer. And how is the lens on it? Well, absolutely. I've always been skeptical to Leica cameras, and I thought it was just this bunch of snobs using Leica, and it's like, oh, it's so cool. It's, you know, it's been around for 100 years and blah blah blah. But so I've been kind of ignoring them. But now, after I've been using it for probably a week now, I'm in love with that camera. I love it. It's just absolutely amazing. It does one thing. It takes pictures, period. Nothing else. It's very, very simplistic. The controls and the buttons are very simplistic. If you look at the Sony or the Canon ones, they're so busy. This one is just, you know, you have 2 dials here, and then you have a shutter here, and then you take pictures. Absolutely stunning camera, my new love. And so I have one lens, original Leica, which is the 2470 2.8. That one is somewhere else. But now I'm doing something for Sigma next week, doing a workshop with them. So I'm actually going to use a couple of Sigma lenses that have aperture 1.4, so I can be really, really wide open and let a lot of light in. So it's the 85 millimeter and then the 135 millimeter. Those are the 2 lenses. So I'm actually playing around with Sigma lenses on the Leica camera. But the other ones are call size lenses, and they're really expensive, the Leica lenses, but they're good. So, and even the Sigma lenses, they're absolutely stunning. In the past, Sigma lens was something you bought if you could not afford buying a regular lens. Maybe I should switch back to me and do this. Sigma lenses you bought if you couldn't afford a Nikon or a Canon or a Sony lens for your Sony, Canon, Nikon camera. You bought a Sigma or Tamron and so forth. And they had lesser quality, lower price. But nowadays, their prime lenses, which means prime lens is basically a lens that has only 1 millimeter. It's like 85 millimeter, period. Both of those cameras that I have now are 2470s, which means I can go from 24 millimeter to 70 millimeter, so I can zoom in, zoom out. But with these ones, you use your feet. Those are your manual zoom. You walk back and forth to crop your image. So that's those are absolutely stunning. I even used a Sigma. They had a sport, like a 200 to 600 millimeter. I mean, you could go really close up, and that's, oh, we can do that. I can switch camera, add this, and maybe do that, and we'll see. So I used one of those to take pictures like this. That's Slot Reflections. Zlatan Ibrahimovic in his shooting his regular style. Crazy guy. So you can really zoom in, and it had a fast focus and everything. And that was a cheapo Sigma lens, right? So, but it's really good. GoPro 13. Yeah, so right now I don't have the Carl Zeiss lens. Yes, I do have that, but they are not. It's not on right now. Right now it's a Sigma lens, but I have Carl Zeiss lenses in my studio. So here I have a home studio as well where I do a lot of testing. Oh, we got Filthy here as well. Look at that. Okay, yeah, so check in later whenever you can. It will be here. And I'll make sure I'll cover everything. I think I covered most of the stuff, that equipment-wise, that I'm using. So most of them are USBs. These system cameras like the Canon, the Sony, or the Leica, they use HDMI. So I use HDMI to connect to my switcher, because it has regular HDMI ports. So I just pop them in there, and then they have the mini HDMI on the Sony and the Canon. And I think the Leica has a regular HDMI. Let's double check that. I'm still learning this camera. Yeah, it has a regular HDMI up here. So here I can just take a regular HDMI cable straight into my switcher. The benefit with the switcher is that I can use HDMIs, which is really a fast way of transferring images and data back and forth, and I can switch easily all three. But many of these cameras, like the Go 3S, the 360 camera, and the GoPro, that type of action cameras, they have USB 3. which is great because you can pop them into your computer, but you're limited to the number of USB inputs you have. And that can be a problem because a lot of laptops and so forth, they have lesser you have lesser inputs, maybe only one, and then you need the docking station. And when you go through docking stations, you lose, every time you add something in between, you lose bandwidth and you lose speed, and you can get a little bit of speed in there. But most regular ones have USB 3, and you can just pop them in USB-C, and it works fine for what we are doing. Yeah, exactly, snobby. Yeah, that's what I thought, but I was proven wrong after I tried them, and now I totally agree. They are top notch. And this camera, it has like IP54 weatherproofing, so you can stand in rain and snow and cold and heat. It can handle anything. It's just a monster camera. I'm sold. Is that a mini bazooka? I wonder which one. Well, so the real bazooka was the 800 millimeter that I had. That was a monster. It was big as a decent dick, as they would say in Spain. But we are not in Spain, so we're not going to say that because we are keeping this as clean as we can. But I think I already messed it up. It's 85 millimeter, which lets in a heck of a lot of light. Yeah, exactly. It's a 1.4 aperture, which is like wide open. I'm not going to do any references to that comment. I'm just going to leave it. But you can shoot in darkness with that. Joe has a question here. What do we have? Can you go over the types of lenses there are? Absolutely, I can. I would say in regular, the second most important thing in photography is the lens. If you're going to invest money, that's the key thing. It's the second key thing, which is the lenses. The camera matters less. And well, I shoot with Sony, I shoot with Canon, I shoot with Leica, I shoot with Phase 1, I shoot with any Nikons, any camera I get hold of. It doesn't matter because the camera is only a black canvas. The sensor is a black canvas, just like a painter, but painters use white canvas. And you paint on that sensor with light. That's all you do. So I've had exhibitions with pictures that I've taken with an iPhone, and I tell them that the person that can with certainty pinpoint which image is taken with an iPhone and explain why would get $50. And I've never given out the $50 because it's impossible to see. The key thing is really light. Light is the most important thing. With good lighting, you can take good pictures with any camera, more or less. So when you're shooting with the iPhone, very small sensor, very small area to paint with, so you have a less of a dynamic range. Same thing with action cameras like GoPro or Insta360 and so forth. And when you come up to the cameras, like regular full format cameras, you have a larger sensor, which is 35 millimeter. So camera, least important. And then second most important is the lenses. And you can go from macro lenses where you can go really, really close up, like shoot details. Maybe I should do that. I have an extreme macro. Maybe I'll do some macro shoots for the next live. I put that on one of the cameras, and it's a bit of a hassle too. But it has a little LED. I mean, you could basically shoot in your mouth if you want and get details in your nostrils or other holes. But you have wide angle lenses, which are normally from 14 millimeter up to 35 millimeter, I would say. 14 to 35. Then you're talking about wide angle. So then you get a wide angle. So let's put this one at 24, for example. Now you see we get we get a lot more of the room in the picture. And then from after 35, normally it's a 50 to 135 are like portrait lenses, or 50 is actually the normal view. So if I put this one on 50, there we go. This one shows basically what the eye would see. That's the kind of our eyes, we see things in 50 millimeter approximately. So 50 millimeter lenses are very, very popular. They are a little bit too tight for this type of streaming, so I would go with something that you can zoom out a little bit. And then from anything from, I would say probably 100 and upwards to 1200 millimeters, which is the extreme lens. But 800, 600, 400, 200, those are what we call zoom lenses. And those are really good for if you're standing a bit away and you want to shoot, for example, dangerous animals, then perfect. The longer the lens, the closer you can get. And there are some really extreme cameras and lenses that you can use. So wide angle lenses, normal view, which is somewhere between 50 and 85, it's what we see as normal. And then anything above that would be zoom lenses. So this one can zoom into 70, which is this. Hello, focus, there we go. So this is a tight shot, so this is 70 millimeters, but I would probably use a little bit of, so now I'm at 35 millimeter. That's normally a very, very comfortable. You get a little bit of background. You see, oh yeah, I got a track here. I got my shelves here with my cars and so forth. So you get a kind of a context in the image of where I am and why am I talking about this. And then the most important part is the lighting. Absolutely the lighting. You can do so many things with light. I mean, basically, photography is, photos is the Greek word for light, and graphia is the writing or painting with light. So basically, photography means painting or writing with light. That's what we do. And if you have no light, well, the image looks like this. Not so fun. There's no light coming into the camera now. So without light, garbage. And that's why I tell people, use any camera. It doesn't matter, even the entry-level cameras nowadays are good enough to take good pictures. And if you have interchangeable lens system camera, then you can put in like a high-quality lens. The glass is what really makes it, because normally what you can have, if you have a cheaper lens, you have a lesser quality of how they have made the lenses. You can get some strange abbreviations happening in the edges and get some funky things happening at the edges of the image. So glass is important, and high quality glass costs money. And yeah, so every HDMI, but for example, this one, the little action camera, the Insta Go 3S, it uses USB-C, and then it goes, let's see, I can add it to the scene. So, and then it goes into one of the USB ports. You see the orange cable, it's the same here. So this one goes in here, but I have electricity coming in here, and then I have a camera, and then I only have one port here, and this is where I have memory card. I have a little hub here with a big memory card reader and so forth. But then I'm out of USB ports, so I don't have any more. So if I would like to have, for example, the close-up camera, well, I don't know where to connect it. That's why I'm using the switcher, which is that guy here. So now I can add another 4 cameras. And the PC itself is a camera. So for example, if I want to go into the leaderboard, let's check out the championship here, and maybe we do GT Classics and see what are the standings. Then I can switch over to this. And now you can all see, I can remove this one. So now you can see what I'm showing on the stream. Oh, look at that, by accident. I happen to be number 1 on this one. Vince, I'm sure he's going to do something before Saturday is over. He's going to be there, he's going to beat me. It's just, yeah, that's just the way it goes. And if we go and look at, for example, Modern GT, what's happening over there? What are the results? Yeah, look, Vince, Steve, Trappy, they're all ahead of me. And I was doing pretty good with my Porsche, but now it's just all NSR Corvettes. So, anywho, we switch over to me, do this. So it's very simple to control and show all different kinds of views with a thing like this. Let's remove that one. So those were the lenses, but then again I recommend lights. Almost any light is a good light. Light is light. Light is electromagnetic radiation. It doesn't matter if it comes from a Godox, or I'm a Profoto user. Profoto is kind of the high end, the Leicas of the flash and the lighting world. But I'm sponsored by them, so that's really. But I used them before they hooked me up. But light is so important, because with light you can convey so many messages. You can make things scary by lighting something from below. You can add definition. If you draw a circle on a piece of paper, it's just a flat circle. But if you start adding shades to it, then all of a sudden you can make it look three-dimensional. It looks like a ball, and it's the same thing with lighting. Right now I have light everywhere, so I have a fairly flat lighting. I have a little bit of a rim light going on here, but besides that it's nothing fancy. But if I would like to have some depth in here, if I would shoot this for a video, I would probably have layers of different lights. I might have some directional light on me, so I would get more shadows on this side, and to give me again like a little bit of three-dimensionality. And brighter, anything that sticks out should be brighter than stuff that's back. So anyway, that's a whole class of lighting that we could go through. Yeah, so super wide, standard, short tele, and a long tele, and then you have macro lens. I would agree, yeah. So wide is basically wide angle. Those are, but you can also combine these two, the super wide and wide, into this wide angle. But with super wide, you have also fisheyes, which are like extreme, like almost 180-degree lenses. So, and then camera brands. Fuji, Nikon, Canon, Sony, Olympus, Panasonic, doesn't really matter. They're all good cameras. They have different user interfaces, and like with anything else, both with lighting and cameras, a more expensive camera have some more features, and you can actually have a workflow that's faster. You get faster to a ready-made image, and that's where you make the money, if you can shoot fast. If you have crappy lighting and you're sitting 4 hours at your computer trying to correct things with Photoshop, you're wasting money, because nobody pays you when you're sitting in front of the computer. They pay you when you're behind the camera. So yeah, you mentioned here comes the fisheye as well. So these are a lot of fun. What else is happening over there? Well, all these things are subjective. I mean, if you're going to go out to savannah and shoot lions and leopards and stuff like that, then wide angle is not so good. Then you want to have like 600, 800. So it all depends on what you're going to shoot. And again, the lens is your cropping tool. It only crops the image. And I do that in one class where I actually show them that it's the distance that changes the the perspective or the perspective of the image. So like at this distance you see my ears, but if I would get closer you don't see my ears. And so people think that, oh, if I use a wide angle, every nose gets big and I don't see any pictures or any ears. And if I move further back, and you see if there we go, then now you see ears. And if I move even further back, you would see more. But it's only distance, nothing else. Lens does nothing. So yeah, slot sync is a lot of fun. We will get into that a little bit more. As I think I've covered everything with regards to. Oh, I have one more thing I need to do, but for that I'm going to disconnect my 3D Go S, which is a nice camera. Oh, look at that, Neil. Now we have to learn that when we see feral slots, it's Neil. Now it's all visible here. Cool. Welcome, feral slots. You should meet the guy called Neil. He's really nice. I think he lives nearby you. So go and meet him. Look at that. Can anyone please tell me how to change the GIF or pic? Oh, that one. Yeah, you do that in your profile. Let's see if I can. I should be able to do that here. If I do something like this and boom. So when you start your channel and you get a certain, I don't know if you need some certain number of viewers or something, but you basically get access to studio.youtube and then you log in. And here I can make any changes I want to do for my profile. Customization. If I go into customization and I can add pictures here and I can change the banner, change that one, or like I have my logo, the Lucifer Raceway, and I hit change here and it would pop up here. And if we would go in and look at my channel, let's see, let's go over here. You see I have a banner up here, so you can change that. I can hit edit here, and I think also I can hit edit when I'm in my channel. So either directly in your channel or in your studio in YouTube. That's how you do that. Hopefully we have answered some questions. Yeah, so we just went through that. So that's that on photography. Most important, get some decent lights. For in our case, I guess more constant lights, not flashes, but constant lights. And you have ring flashes, ring lights that are very popular with all kinds of influencers. But any light works. I have most of my lights here are daylight balanced, so that's why it's kind of bright. I like daylight balanced. It's not so warm and cozy in this room, but who cares? But then let's go back and talk about this little camera. I'm going to disconnect it now, and I don't think I need it anymore. No, I don't. There we go. Kill the cable. And we're going to turn it off. Is it dying? No? So this little guy, the Insta360, the cool thing with this one is that I can either have it as an action camera. Now I have put it on a thingy like this so I can put it on a tripod. But the cool thing with this one, I can remove this little part. So now I have a camera that's only as big as a thumb. I guess almost like an inch, whatever an inch is. So now this little camera, I can either put on a slot car, or I can put it on a little, oh, let's switch camera. I have, for God's sakes, I got cameras for it. Why don't I use it? So I have a little clip like this, and I can put it, it has magnets, and now with this little clip I can put it on a baseball cap, for example. So I could have it on a baseball cap, or I can put it on a piece of clothing, etc., and then walk around with it like this. So if I would have a baseball cap, I would just clip it on here, and then it would follow me and capture anything that I see kind of from eye level, which is really cool. But if I don't like eye level, let's say I want to have like a body cam, then it comes also with one of these things, and I can put it on the back side, and it has magnets, right? So now this camera is stuck here on my piece of clothing, and as I'm walking around, it will, let's see. Oh, Benny showed up as well. Cool. Welcome. So now it's stuck here, and if I want to move it and I want to have it maybe up here, I can easily move it. And let's see, put it in a more visible way, like this. So now I can walk around and record, and then and you just hit the button here, boom, record, stop recording. So it's very, very simple to use. If you're walking around touristy things, or if you were standing up and racing and you move your body, you can either put it on the baseball cap or on this one, and you can easily follow instead of trying to hold the camera and try to race at the same time. Then you don't have to care about, just move your body where the car is on your track. Very, very easy. That's called Insta360, Insta360 Go. And they have a whole bunch of fun gadgets that you can clip it on, different solutions. But so the key thing, it's so small. It's really, really neat. And I like that. And I think they're not too expensive either. It's a Chinese company. Good quality. I use the 360 camera and this one. And I use it when I go on my Harley. I pop it on my helmet. I drive through rain and all kinds of bad weather. No problems at all. It can handle a beating. I have OM flashes and 9s Canon flashes. More light were the last word of Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. He was a popular German poet, yeah, and a scientist. Yeah, light is good. Light is really the important part. So, oh, it comes again. Yeah. So yeah, with 15 flashes, that's more than enough. You can light anything with that. So that's kind of how I shoot my stream. The one thing I have not figured out yet is how to connect my, oh crap, now I want to have this guy connected for the next session. Let's see if that still works. And we turn it on. Sometimes things get messed up when you disconnect. Let's see, go webcam. There we go. It worked. Nice. I have not been able to, let's see, remove the camera, we add the camera, there we go, boom. I have not been able to add the iPad. If I'm running a smart race, to get it up on here. I know Joe is doing something, and I don't want to use OBS or any other fancy additional software layer on top of this, but there must be a way of doing that. And with the PC, I'm using a Dell because they have NVIDIA graphics cards, 4060 or 4090 or whatever it's called. So yeah, so that's that on that. I I need to figure that out so I can have like the racing result if I want to do something. My picture in the little circle is from my regular profile, and it showed up when I started my channel. Yeah, so but you can easily change it. Just go into your channel and hit whatever you want to, what element you want to change, and you can change it. So is there anything else? Oh, sound-wise. Yes, sound. I'm using, I have a little thingy here. I know Pete uses his on his baseball cap, but I'm using these small Rode microphones. So I have this is a transmitter, and then I have a receiver hooked up to my switcher. I guess I could show it. If I do this. Here it is. The Rode receiver, and it goes into the switcher, so that's how I get, so I can walk around and have sound, which is nice. We likes. Great success. And sound is as well, if you do video, sound is like the most important thing. If you notice if you're watching a stream or watching something, the first thing that starts to deteriorate is the picture. But the sound stays. They prioritize the sound if you're lagging bandwidth, etc. So the sound is the last thing to go. So invest in good microphones. Like these Rode or DJI have some microphones that are similar to these. They are definitely good enough. If I'm doing professional video, like if I do a commercial and stuff, then I'm using Sennheiser. So I have Sennheiser microphones, all kinds of aerial shotguns, these small wireless microphones as well. I have these, if I'm shooting a seminar, for example, then I have these that comes up from here. So, so sound is important. You don't have to go Sennheiser. That's, again, it's like the Leica or the Profoto high-end sound, but if you do commercial video, then yeah, you need to go Sennheiser. That's just no other option. Audio Pro is also pretty good, but for what we're doing, DJI or Rode are very, very affordable sound solutions, so I would recommend that. Much better than using just the standard microphone, unless you're going to do like Marty Ford. He has also this podcast microphone because he's sitting still. I like to walk around, so if I walk around, and if I'm racing, I have to walk around and marshal myself, then I can still continue talking and having a good sound. Or if I want to go and grab a coffee, if we extend this too long, then I could still walk around, which is hard if you have a stationary microphone. But in Marty's case, he sits there and he talks, so it's a perfect solution. You get really good sound on that one. So that's sound for stream. Sound important, light more important, and then use whatever camera you have. You can use iPhones, you can use the built-in camera on your laptop, and then off you go. And the next thing is the content. I mean, what do you want to talk about? That's what I would focus more on than anything else. So one question I have received quite often is, or I know Greg has some problems with, for example, the analog setup on his Smart Race, and you need Smart Race and a Carrera track to play around with SlotSync. And on that news, as we're now moving over to SlotSync racing, there is some great news. First of all, the price of SlotSync is really low. It's $20 a year. $20, that's it. And you just go there, you sign up. But now they have a trial. So when you sign up and you want to try it out, there's a trial version, and you get the first month for free. So you get 1 month to try it out. You don't have all the features like in the championships, because then you could have a whole bunch of people just jumping in and trashing the leaderboards and the championships for 1 week or a month. So yeah, Shure is also really good microphones. Absolutely, they're good price, and or the Rodees. Those are good priced microphones. I agree with you, Bo. So your last comment there. But so go and test it out, and all you do is you pick a sponsor, and if you have any questions, that sponsor will help you. You know how to set up your track, so you get the right track layout in the system and so forth. If anybody wants to, you just pick me as a sponsor, and I'll help you out. We just do a Teams meeting or whatever, and then we can I can show you step by step how to get it all set up. But it's 1 month for free, at no cost, and you can try it out and see if it fits you, if you enjoy it or not. I really do enjoy it, and so yeah. On that note, I say just go and try it. It's so much fun. And let's see. This one is now searching for. Why are you searching for control unit? Well, anyway, let's switch cameras. Since I cannot do what Joe can do and put the software up here, since it's going from Apple to PC, and I just can't make that happen. So let's do this. So iPad, Smart Race, and what I do initially, I go into Smart Race, and then, oh, stupid Leica camera, let's move it away from here. Down here, which is his Smart Connect server. We start the server, boom. And then you get a QR code that you can scan, or if you already have scanned it, you take an iPhone, and let's see if I can do a little something like this. iPhone, dirty one, and then we go into the app called Smart Race Connect. Looks like this. Smart Race Connect, and then oh, stop it, and I just hit reconnect. Ta-da! And now I'm connected with the server. It's going bananas. Let's see. And let's go and do reset free practice, confirm. So, and now on to continue with that, I go in at the very bottom. You have an analog mode. Oh, doom. And yes, allow cameras, yes. And now the key thing here is, as you can see, I have made a massive, monster big Sector 1. And let's go and put it in the gantry, and we'll see what happens. What's happening here? So let's switch camera to this one. No. Or yes, this one. So I take my camera, there's my gantry, the magnetic racing gantry. I put the iPhone in here, and if you can see, I put the Sector 2 way over here, since I'm only racing with one car. And I have a big monster of a sector now on this one. And now it definitely reacts, as it goes green. And so that might help you, Greg, if you make one big sensor for it. And then you can also in there go in and change the sensitivity, which is another good thing. let's remove stuff from this one, and let's do some laps with this guy. Let's switch cameras. Which camera should we go to? Do, 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 do. Yeah, so normally what I would do, if I would be racing, I would put one camera on one end of my track and then this one. Well, maybe I could do that. I could just move over. Well, now you guys are going to be all spinning if I don't. So we put this one on a little stand. Like this. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. That's what they taught me in school. And we raise this up. Then further up. Do I need to go even higher? There we go. And then I can tilt this over to a little something like this maybe. Is that good enough? Let's go over and see. Yeah, looks good enough. So what do we have? Gantry with sensor here. So the start-finish line over there does not matter. This is the one that matters. We have Smart Race over here. We have car here. We have Frankenslot here. I guess I could just kill. Or maybe I could do this. This is interesting. Yeah, it moves. Look at it. It's alive. And now we need to assign a car. I'm not driving an F1 car now. I'm using a Slothead. And it's the Ford GT, number 3. There we go. So this one has a best lap of 3 seconds, 3.1 seconds. No, that's something wrong. I need to check that out. Probably need to delete that, but I'll do it later. So anyway, let's do some free practice. So with this setup now that I have the large sensor area, I'm not missing a single track, even if I'm speeding through, and I have it at the end of the straight. Normally, if you want to be smart, you would probably place it over here somewhere right after a curve, because then you have a lower speed. But now I have it as the highest speed possible, so but it's still capturing it. Oops. So here's the problem. Now I need to go in Marshall. I have to walk all the way around here. And I can still talk with you because I have wireless sound. So therefore, buy wireless microphones so you can go and do stuff like this. I just finished racing my sprint races yesterday, so some of the cars, they always get a little bit beaten up when I race. So I need to do service. Let's do some push laps. Let's go. The Slothead cars are so smooth. They're silent. And the traction is fantastic. It sticks to the curves like a proper race car. There's no fishtailing. It just sticks to it like a proper GT40 did back in the days. There we go. Analog racing with a larger sensor on the iPhone. That really works. So, okay, let's see. Yeah, $20 is worth the first night. And I tell you, the fun thing is that every week there are sprint championship events in different groups. We can take a look at those groups. Since we have the fancy-pantsy camera set up, we could easily go and take a look at that. So we do cut to camera 4, boom. So the different championship events are Classic GT Sports, and Carrera is one class, and in the Carrera class they changed the like it could be modern GT, it could be group, it could be all different Formula 1, etc. But Carrera cars. And then you have Classic GT, any brand car, but as long as it fits in the Classic GT, which is like the GT40s, etc. Formula 1 cars, here you can compete with Carrera Formula 1s, NSR Formula 1s, not Scalectric, but NSR, Slothead, and Scale Auto. Group 5 is the BMW M1s, for example. Legends are the Legend cars. And then your modern GTs, here, this is where you have all the McLarens, Porsches, Mustangs, etc. And then you have NASCAR, which is modern NASCAR. I don't know if we put the classic NASCARs into classic GT and sports. I think this is where, if you have some of these old well, I don't have them either in the cabinet. Old NASCARs, they would fit in that class. And then you have prototypes, which is the Cadillacs, the hypercars, the Acura NSX, etc. So they would fit in there. So every week I have these classes. I don't have any Legends cars, but I have all the others. So I compete in all others except Legends. And that's a lot of fun. So you do the sprint races. And then once a month, anytime during the month, you have also an endurance. I need to lower the Smart Race app here. You have an endurance race. That's when you compete. Let's see, let's switch back to me. That's where you compete in all those different classes. You need to do a 20-minute race and see how many laps can you do in 20 minutes. And it's harder than you think. I mean, it's like most of my times I deslot one, but sometimes I manage to do a clean 20 minutes. But you need to stay focused for 20 minutes. It's really, really tricky. And and you only get one submission for the endurance per class. And I normally take it as I spent most of the 1 month, doing the sprints and improving myself, and then towards the end of the month, I do the endurance races. And I give each class one shot. If I deslot and have to marshal, then that's what happens, because that's the way racing works as well. When it's Sunday, 3 o'clock, and it's the Grand Prix, if you crash, you crash, right? So that happens. So there's some months that I don't submit on something because I had a really, really bad crash and flew off the track. But that's part of the fun. And it's not, it's not that we're competing over $1 million or world peace, or if you don't submit, 15 panda babies will die. That's not going to happen. So we're doing it for fun. So I recommend, if you have a Carrera track, go in, give it a month trial, and after that you'll see that the $20 is nothing. It's definitely worth it. It's so you have enlarged the sensor. Okay, you discovered in my room less light is better. Okay, I have tons of light in so I have the opposite. I have 100 watts over there, and I got 100-watt lights on each one of these lights. So it's for 500 watts of lights. There's tons of light in here, but they are LED based, so it's not like pure 500 watts like HMI. So a lot of light from all angles works perfect for me, like a dream. But then again, I use the sensitivity sensor in the iPhone to map it out. I think, these are the ghosts. Yeah, I think I have M3s. So I've used those, but they were not, I'm using Sennheiser now for commercial, and these Rode ones that I'm using now, the Go, what are they called? Go-To, wireless Go-To, that's good enough for streaming. Okay, so fast, had to run. I bet I missed him for my rambling, but you can put a 9-volt block. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I guess that's a confession. I promised myself not to buy that many cars. I have already bought like 150 cars last year, and I said that's madness, so I need to stop doing that. So far, the first couple of months, I'm doing pretty good. I only bought a couple of cars, but there are some new cars. Scalauto just came out with their upcoming releases that are coming towards the end of this month and beginning in April. Some really awesome hypercars and GT2 cars, Audi R8s, and it's like, need to have them. But maybe I should add a Legend and buy. I don't know if they're hard to find, Legends in Europe. Maybe that's why I don't have them. Let's go and check out KLM. Yeah, so my regular, the Slot Car Union, where I buy most of my cars, he does not carry Legends. Or wait a minute, Pioneer. It's Pioneer, right? Pioneer makes the Legends. Yes, they do. Oh, he has them. Okay, no problem. I have no excuses. Sorry, my bad. It's just, I'm just a bad person, Brad. Sorry. I need to get one. Especially, I've seen that they have like a Marlboro livery. I'd really like to have that one. That's okay. I'm going to buy that. I'll buy it and I'll fix it. Sorry about it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's good point, Greg. Thank you. And also, when you do the endurance lap, you have to pit. Normally, minimum 4 times you have to pit. So that's also part of the strategy. How far do you push them? And if you run empty on gas, the laps don't count. So you can drive around and not have your laps counted, and so that's not good. You need to pit. And when do you pit? Do you pit at 24%, 6%, 3%? How close do you want to push it? And it's a lot of fun. And also, as you're entering this is when you're driving digital or even analog, you have to slow down the lap before the pit, and the lap after the pit will be slightly slower. So, and if you miss the pit entry when you run digital, and you have to run 1 lap empty, then your loss. But and if you have fast cars like the GT40s or the Acura NSX, the NSRs, the NSX. I had to pit like 5 or 6 times depending on how fast the car, because if you're driving a fast car, you're driving like 450 kilometers per hour simulated in the smart race. You consume a lot more gas, so therefore you have to pit more times. But it's just a whole different level of racing, so much fun. And I tell you, I don't know how many thousands and thousands of laps I've been doing since SlotSync started. Every week I race a minimum of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 classes, and now 7 since I'm going to get the Legend as well. So 7 different sprint races where you have to do, depending on how long your track is, you have to do 20 laps or 5 laps if you have a West Coast type of track. So all depends on the track lengths. You get a dedicated number of laps you have to do. I think in my case it's 13 or 14 for this track. I have 2 different configurations of this track, which I showed in an earlier live. So I can quickly move between Mark II and Mark III, as I call them. But yeah, that's a lot of fun. MTB, I guess I missed you as well. Later, Gator, Sia Alls, does that mean Slightly Mad left us as well? Oh, this is cool. Brad has a dispatch microphone from a taxi business. Haha, that's cool. Oh yeah, Fox and Wolfslet. And then we have Neil here, Feral Slots. Well, I like that name. And then we'll see the latest version of Smart Race and Smart Race Connect seems to work better for me. Yeah, I would agree. I just upgraded that one, and it works really smooth. I had some issues with the pitting, with the pit lane in analog mode, because then you have to park underneath the gantry, and then it starts refueling, and then when it's done, you can continue racing. Sometimes it didn't stop, so it got stuck in the pit lane feature, and it never started counting laps again. So, but that's anyway. UC, hello. I still need to update myself on your track. I have been busy with doing stupid things and not watching your track update. I will. That's my weekend goal. I will catch up on all your videos on your new track. I've only heard it. They talk about it on the Aussie slot car show and so forth. So I'm really curious to see what happens. So Slot Sync, yeah, it requires Smart Race. That's correct. So you need the Smart Race app. So that's what you need, and it's really easy because then it gives you all the data: your last lap, your fastest lap, your total race time, number of laps. Everything gets automatically recorded, and you just enter it into the Slot Sync Racing website. Really, yeah, thousands. Yeah, we've probably done like 10,000 more laps in Slot Sync. I can't remember. I had it almost the track assistant for almost a year, and I occasionally I did some racing, but I had no purpose. I just did, I tried to get the fastest lap, but now I have to do 13 laps in total without deslotting, and those 13 I get that really good, and this has helped me as well in improving my tuning and making small changes to the cars, moving weights around, adding tape, and all these little things, and I see if I improve or not. So a lot of fun. So UC being polite, saying hi to everybody, we like that. Polite people are always welcome. And there we go. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's what I've heard. I really want to see this. So I want to see that. That's going to be, maybe I'd even do that tonight. Grab something to eat since I missed dinner. It's dinner time over here. It's pitch black, dark out there. So I'll do that and catch up. And I also saw that Slot Car Hub did something on cleaning the cars, etc. So I need to catch up on that video as well. So many good videos and so much fun. What else do we have this weekend coming? We have, of course, Track Fans on Sunday, but I don't think there's a cartoons tomorrow. That was last week. So no cartoons. There will be Slot Car News a couple of hours later after me with Dave Kennedy. So that will be a good catch and see if there's anything news in the US market. And then for the European market, it was 1 hour before my broadcast. You had Slot Cars, Pixels, eBugs. That channel, they showed all the cool things that are happening in Europe. The new releases from Avant Slots, Super Slot, NSR, etc. A lot of rally cars because it's a Spanish channel. And but if you wait a little bit, they will dub it, so you will have it in English. This is the international sign for dubbing, in case you're wondering. So with that, let's see, look at us. We've already done an hour and 20 minutes, and people have got sick and tired of us and started to leave. So maybe that's a sign that it's time to say thank you all in the chat, all the bows and the non-bows, for being active in the chat. A lot of good questions. And yeah, so it was a little bit of Slot Car, but a little bit about streaming outside of Slot Car. But I think it's still connected, relevant, so that more people can be enabled to do lives or even record videos. You're still working on your track. B-Rad, priorities, priorities, priorities. The yard can wait. It's only spring. You have all summer to work on it. So it's time to get that put together. But yeah, if nothing else, thank you, Greg. If nothing else, if you have a Carrera track, if you're not in Slot Sync and haven't upgraded to Smart Race, just do it. It is so much fun. Right now you have a great offer with the 1 month for free. You can try it out with most of the features. There'll be a dedicated championship for the kind of the trial users, so they don't mess up the big thing. So track envy. Yeah, no, I don't think I would feel track envy, more admiration to other people's tracks, to be honest. I'm happy with my track as it is. I wouldn't replace it right now considering the size of the room. It works perfect, and I think it's technical enough for me and fast enough for me to get a little bit of adrenaline kicks. Let's see, before we leave, let's see, Bo, you always have good recommendations. Sebring 13th, okay, there we go. And the 24-hour Nürburgring tomorrow. Ooh, that will be interesting. Oh, they have a station wagon, like Volvo had their station wagon. That's good. Sebring, yeah, it's an extra hour. It's the lunch hour on Sebring. It's a 12-hour Sebring. Yeah, they're absolutely right. But you have to count with the lunch breaks. 1 hour lunch break as well. So with that, anyway, thank you for being patient and listening to my ramble about cameras, streaming, and all different kinds of cameras, lenses, lights, etc. And a little bit of analog slot sync. And thank you so much, all of you that keep on showing up. It's so much appreciated. I don't have to sit here and talk to myself. It's always good to have your friends around. So all with that, yeah, safe travels to those of you who will travel, and for the rest of us, let's have a fantastic weekend. And I'll make sure I'll make some comments on UC Slot Car's channel as well to make proof that I'm actually watching the videos. Okay, thank you so much. Have a great weekend, everybody. Whoops, there goes my gantry.